Montana's news leader, this is the MTN Noon News.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on the Noon News. I'm Andrea Lutz. The University of Montana shifting its COVID protocols. We'll fill you in a minute, but first. 3,000 U.S. troops will be moved to Eastern Europe as tensions along the Russian border with Ukraine show no signs of easing. 2,000 U.S.-based troops will deploy to Poland and Germany and another 1,000 to Germany and Romania. Well, the Pentagon says the move is to show support for NATO alliance members amid fears of that Russian invasion of Ukraine. And the White House says no troops are going to Ukraine and instead Romania. That's the location of a missile defense system that Russia considers a threat. Russia does continue to demand NATO prevent Ukraine from joining the alliance, but NATO and the U.S. have rejected that demand. It appears an incentive to get Montanans back to work is working. The state's Return to Work program paid out 3,000 bonuses totaling $3.6 million between May 4th to the end of 2020. People receiving unemployment benefits could apply for a $1,200 incentive payment if they found a job and stayed with that employer for 4 weeks. Well, the most common job found was in office and support and administration, followed by food service jobs. President Joe Biden is meeting with New York Mayor Eric Adams today to discuss a wave of gun violence across American cities. Illegal guns are a large part of the problem, including the so-called ghost guns that can be purchased more easily than traditional weapons. After a handful of incidents involving offenders in Montana's pre-release program, a Billings pre-release center is now being thrust into the spotlight. Of the more than 2,600 offenders in Billings, over 200 are in pre-release programs, and 80% of them are nonviolent, non-sexual offenders. The people in charge of running the Alpha House in Billings say they're seeing more of their residents struggle with drug addiction and mental health problems than ever before. But not everyone who applies to a pre-release program is accepted. Those who are more likely to commit crimes and stay behind bars. And that's today's Leading Look.
Well, we are starting to get warmer today. Let's take a look at those projected highs. A lot of 20s and 30s across the board. For the most part, we're going to stay precipitation free. Say that 3 times fast. But off to our west, we could see a few snow showers, but that should be about it, as high pressure really starting to take over and trying to dominate as we get into or head toward the weekend, and staying dry for the most part through the early part of next week for a good portion of the region. But we are trending wetter than average as we move forward, and at least through the middle of February. So maybe some much needed moisture on the way. Big story today, especially along the foothills and areas to the east, central Montana to the east, down in northern parts of Wyoming, where we can see some of those stronger winds today. We'll tell you more about that and how long they're going to last with the main forecast coming up.
The University of Montana tallies over 100 active COVID cases right now, 5 semesters into the pandemic, and this is their biggest surge yet. But students continue on to class. Sporting events and campus happenings haven't hit pause. The numbers say one thing, but campus is finally saying another.
It does feel like the impact to our campus community, both students and employees, is less severe.
Campus spokesperson Paula Short credits the virulence of the Omicron variant and a widely available vaccine. There's also the impact of time.
Unbelievably, we're 2 years into working through a global pandemic.
COVID has become routine for this campus. Now the focus of their COVID response team is shifting.
Because of the case surge, we've prioritized, similar to City County Health, the rapid isolation of positive cases. We've not put a focus on those close contacts, other than we do have expanded testing at Curry Health Center now for students and employees, which is new.
Due to the overwhelming task of contact tracing and a milder variant running its course, the university will prioritize positive cases and loosen its grip on quarantine enforcement. But with a focus on the positive cases, concerns are building as to whether UM has space to house this growing number of students.
We've got about between 35 and 40 spaces. Again, that's very similar to last semester. So far, we've not exceeded our capacity.
Per updated guidance from the CDC, the isolation period for a positive case has dwindled from 10 days to 5. The shorter window means more students can come and go from isolation housing before it reaches capacity. It also means more work for the housing team tasked with turning over rooms.
Certainly a compliment to our housing team that has this really complicated spreadsheet of students going into isolation, coming out of isolation.
If isolation housing reaches its capacity, Short says they'll turn to Plan B, having students isolate in place. 2 years into the pandemic, and contingency has become their expertise.
It's another layer of complexity, but it's not impossible.
In Missoula, Megan Mannering, MTN News.